the week of, what is it? What season is it? Spring 2025 tier list, where I go over the most recent episodes, rated based on how I'm feeling, with the cutoff being Sunday. So Monday animes don't count. Let's start with some shows that we're going to be dropping, right? Gotta give you a little bit of an update of what's happening. And it's not a 100% guarantee, but it's most likely. First up is A-Rank Party. I would rate the most recent A-Rank Party as, it was good, enjoyable mid, or maybe bottom of good. It was a nice little wrap-up episode. Rain's whole arc with her getting, sent off as a husband to something, a wife as something else, was actually a troll bait. The prince was nice. Her uncle still sucks. Dunked on him. It was a nice fan service episode too. But the issue again with this stems from, well, what do you think? It's just viewership, right? And honestly, A-Rank Party has overstayed its welcome. Want to give you a little detail update on what's happening, right? So with any show, things will start to fall off the more that you watch it. That is the natural behavior of any show, right? In the beginning, we got started with like 6.7k, and then, it started to do really well. 6k, 4k, 4k, 4k. And I think that the Simon arc in Core 1 was fantastic. You can see that every video was performing really well, with likes being very high too. But everything changes significantly as soon as we go into Core 2. And this is the importance of pacing and momentum. There was, at this point, right? And even at this point, things start to fall off, right? People were like, all right, new core, let's see what's gonna happen. Notice a steep fall off in viewership with the amount of likes as well on the right-hand side. And I'm not surprised. Back to 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 L's happening because Glacium arc was just so monotonous, boring. It's not that content was bad, but it's the way that it was paced that was bad. And you lose people's interest so fucking quick. It doesn't matter how good the next arc will be. Nothing matters other than keeping people engaged every week. The moment you have 1 or 2 bad weeks, people forget about it and move on. That's how the casual audience behaves. And you can get mad at them all you want, but that's how the game works, right? And it's in my best interest to drop this show. An episode that was the pop-off of the arc can't even break 2k views with the channel size of over 35,000. It is fucking beyond embarrassing. If we look at the analytics, right, of the last 2 videos, let's see, right? What I really care about is the watch time too, right? The video is underperforming by a long shot. But even if the viewers are down, what I really care about is watch time, because this shows that there is a hardcore audience of people that still watch it to the point where the watch time is doing quite decent despite the viewership being bad. And that's why I gave it another chance. But at this point, I think it's cooked, right? I gave it another shot. We honestly should have dropped this months ago. Finally, I won't have to listen to this dog shit fucking opening. I still think A-Rank Party's opening is one of the worst openings I've heard in a long time. Remonster opening, honestly, coming to mind when I think about bad openings. But that's it, man. That's how you kill the momentum of a reaction series on YouTube. A-Rank Party, therefore, is done. I don't drop shows. You guys stop watching, and I basically react on things that you want to watch. Next up is Yaiba. Yaiba honestly is another thing of like mid or good. And there's no surprise here. Yaiba has never been good. Yaiba has never been good in terms of performance. Now, personally, I did enjoy it, but like, let's just get serious here, right? Let's just look at the past like 5 weeks, and I'm honestly brute forcing things way too hard. I am brute forcing things way too hard. That was the first episode, and it's looking alright, right? But every week afterwards, it's just like, oh, barely hanging on, really doing bad, really fucking doing bad. And yeah, there's absolutely no shot that I'm gonna continue this shit, right? There are times where I will bite the bullet and tank the analytics, but I'm honestly tired of taking L's like this. This is replacing a slot where we could be watching something else, right? No one is asking for this show, and the most recent episodes honestly have lost interest for me as well. With the whole new demon generals who are just a bunch of fucking lame-ass, cartoon villains showing up. The ending of the most recent episode was kind of hype with like the Dracula guy pulling up. But again, it doesn't matter because no one's watching this shit on YouTube. And I think Yaiba is also a textbook example of production value doesn't matter as much as you think it does. Sometimes, people just want to watch garbage isekai that's carried by the story with garbage animation. No matter how much Wit Studios is putting in the work and just having polished animation, an unrelatable and hateable character with a plot that is so simple, people just don't care, and it just makes sense. I've honestly been tanking the analytics way too hard recently, and I'm gonna try to really buckle down. And on top of that, Saturday is also a day where we have like 5 separate weeklies, right? It used to be Yaiba and A-Rank Party. Combine that with To Be Hero X, which is doing fantastic. Unk Tensei, which is doing fantastic. And Evil Lord Isekai, which is doing fantastic. 5 shows. I'm already sacrificing one off the cartoon channel. Do you understand how much viewership I'm losing out by investing into these fucking videos? By sacrificing one video from the cartoon channel? If I do a Ben 10 reaction, that's just gonna hit for like minimum 8,000, maybe 10k. Why the fuck am I wasting time doing this shit here for? Who am I doing this for, right? You really gotta think about this and realize that this is honestly very illogical. Why are we doing this? Fun's anime still. I honestly might still watch it around, but we gotta move on. So these are the new and updated list of animes that we've dropped, and it's quite unfortunate, man. Just Rock Lady, it just kills me that Rock Lady also does bad. Let's just give it another look. Rock Lady. How did the most recent Rock Lady episode do, right? You can tell that the viewership is pretty down, but again, I care not only just about like viewership, about watch time as well. The watch time is so insignificant here. It just shows that people just don't give a fuck about this anime, huh? For my channel, at least. Womp womp. All right, that is the dropped shows. Let's talk about shows to rate. So, most recent episode of Unaware Atelier Meister. Just mid again. Enjoyable mid, right? Kurt literally mopped the floor with the Demon Lord. Literally, he brought a mop and he was wiping the floor. The animation is non-existent. The Demon Lord was honestly a joke. It just went coo the entire time. The Power of Fantasy is, I don't know. We fed the girl onigiri and she got cured. Kurt mopped the floor. The people outside was just throwing rocks at demons. It's just very underwhelming. It's kind of enjoyable, I guess. Mid. Next up, Windbreaker. Windbreaker was good. I actually enjoyed it. Tsubaki no character finally got introduced and we got to hear what is up about her. In terms of pacing, honestly, Windbreaker is also on the chopping block, right? Let's look at Windbreaker, right? I should probably drop Windbreaker as well. I should. Windbreaker, I think, is another textbook example of how momentum is so important. You are killing this show by having back-to-back-to-back episodes like this. And I said it right here. This has me worried about Windbreaker Season 2. Do you understand how many people are crying when I made this video? And people are like, you don't know what good anime is! And I'm like, oh, you retards. You don't even know what I'm talking about. When you have 3 weeks of pretty much no action and all just yapping with character dialogue, which again is good. It builds important, fundamentals for things to pay off. But there's gotta be a better way than having 3 weeks of no fights. And you can't call me an Unga Bunga person either. I think that the level of commentary and the depth that I am able to talk about these kind of shows, especially if you see my other reactions, I'm the last fucking person to be calling just an Unga Bunga monkey. But even I can tell how Unga Bunga monkeys behave, and it is falling off. Let's look at this shit, bro. This is the wrap-up episode. Yeah, garbage. This is the episode where I baited by people by saying it's going bad. Yeah, garbage. And Tsubaki episode. Yeah, garbage. Now I'm wondering, I probably should drop this. I don't think we're gonna get anything crazy happening next episode either. The thing about this is that on Thursdays, right, there is 3 weeklies that we're keeping. Thursdays are, what is it? Yami Healer, Ninkoro, which both are doing pretty well. I sacrificed Rock Lady for Windbreaker, and I always want to have one community series going daily, right? Windbreaker, I don't think even deserves a spot in the lineup. It is underperforming by every metric. I am kind of half-half on whether or not I'll drop it. Maybe I could check out one more episode, but I just don't think things are going to change around. I think that, again, many people just care about what's happening on a week-to-week basis and don't really care about the deeper themes and the characterizations. Most of the people watching this are just a bunch of dumb idiots that just want fight scenes and a bunch of thirsty girls who thirst over the boys. It's still a good episode. It doesn't mean that the anime is bad. It just means, again, the metric that I rated on is how well are people engaged and keep watching every episode. And Windbreaker is honestly already gone. Next up, let's see. Devil May Cry? Peak. Bro, Devil May Cry was a little shaky in the middle when it was just like Dante versus random CG demons with no deeper story beyond that. But as soon as Joe Biden executed the immigrants and then we had the backstory of Arkham and the White Rabbit, holy shit, that is some peak cinema. You can say what you want about, oh, the backstory is so shallow. I've seen so many things about that. I don't care. I care about the execution of these, you know, quote unquote cliche, tragic backstories. And I think that Devil May Cry, the most recent episode that we watched, episode 6, I think, was pure cinema. No dialogue, all visuals and beautiful soundtrack to convey a deeper emotional storytelling. And it just goes to show how just amazing this anime is, but a lot of people just don't care about it, which is sad too. I'm gonna finish it. We only have 2 episodes left, right? And season 2 apparently gonna happen. I'm not sure if we're gonna be checking on season 2. Maybe we can, but Devil May Cry, honestly, how is the performance of this? Come on. Show me it. Devil May Cry. It's crazy how... Look at this shit, right? Isn't that insane? The first episode got nearly 10k views, but all those people do not care about anything else beyond that, right? Look how significant the viewership drops off as soon as we get into these episodes. Womp womp. I mean, we're almost done with it. And again, it's not just views, I care about the watch time. How is the watch time doing in these videos? Alright, whatever. Get out of here. How's the watch time doing? Oof. Barely holding on, right? Barely holding on. This is really iffy. But, I mean, we're 2 weeks away, right? I'm kind of invested into this show. I'll probably tank it, 2 more times. It's not a big deal. I'm willing to finish it, but I think Devil May Cry goes to peak here. Next up, let's see. Shiunji Family. I think Shiunji Family most recent episode was fucking great, man. The drama is cooking. Now, the Oka confession was bullshit. Because at the end, it's like, oh, I love you. Platonically as a brother and like, fuck you. Of course. But the Banri date was nice. Into Banri and Minami, basically having like a little different faction wars going on, right? They're teaming up. And then Kotono got cucked with the group chat message leaked. It was like, oh my god, what the hell? Peak drama, nuclear drama. I love that shit. It's so fun to watch. How is Shiunji doing? Let's see. Shiunji. Great. Likes are pretty decent. The viewership is definitely not on the higher side, but this is acceptable. I think Shiunji Family is basically like good enough, right? There's like three separate tiers, right? I think the first tier is like the To Be Hero X's, right? Where every video is gonna just do fucking amazing on a different level. Second tier is some above average performing videos, which only I think Boy Girl Relationship is doing. And then there's the third tier, which is like meets standards, right? Where it's like it's right in it's in the range. And then there is like all the bottom of the barrel, content that just like Windbreaker, even shows like Yaiba, A rank, right? These are the ones where it's underperforming. 3 separate tiers. Shiunji Family is in that like third tier. It's doing well. It's doing good enough. Watch time is great. Next up, Takamine. What the fuck is going on, man? What is happening, bro? You really having another delay for what? Censorship? All right, fuck you too, I guess. Crunchyroll is just fucking up with their delivery of this show. Whatever. Boy-girl friendship? Probably great. What happened? We got a whole reset. Himari still fucking sucks. Enochi is starting to kick in. Big bro, we went over to their place. Maybe it's more accurately down here. Nothing too crazy happened, right? It's just we're setting up for this next arc. And Enochi, I think, is about to pop off. So I put it on probably somewhere in good. It was an enjoyable episode. Next up, Witch Watch. Great episode. Great episode. Witch Watch was so funny. I think that the fact that the first skit, which was only the otaku sensei and a random kid who is like a fan artist, their dynamics and the quirky dialogue and the humor coming from it, without Nico, without Moi, had me dying laughing. Gives me a lot of good expectations for the show to come. Nemu, also the cat girl, hilarious. I think this is a great episode, man. Really enjoyed this week's Witch Watch. Next up, Unk Tensei. Low-key mid? Right? Low-key mid? Probably here somewhere. It's just, I don't know. We got a new orphan kid and we're kind of helping her out, and it's low-key mid though, right? It's straight up like the fight scenes is pretty lackluster. They're skipping a lot of shit. It's pretty fast. I think the most interesting thing was trying to look at if Alucia is wearing a thong or not. On an emotional level for the kid saving her, it was nice, I guess. Unk is really wholesome, nice like that. It's just alright. I wouldn't put it on the level of Unaware Atelier Meister unless I drop this down here and put these two animes like here. Maybe that's better. Probably this is better, right? Because like it's the fact that this was here, and I don't think this should be in the same category as this. But if I drop this below, then we have a new separate tier of distribution, which I think makes more sense, right? I actually did enjoy the Tsubaki dialogue with Sakura though. It was fun. This is a fun episode. So I'll put it up here. It has its own little pop off. I'll put it up here. Next up, Evil Lord Isekai. Probably here, if not here. It was a really fun episode. It was a really fun episode. Christiana, poor Christiana. She's gonna have to wait a little bit more. We had a lot of tasty stuff with the guide, and guide pulled up and he's like, yo, Liam, let me see how much you're malding. And it's like, oh, this is not tasty. What the hell? We had Nier, or that engineer girl, and a samurai constantly having misunderstandings, and she's basically whoring herself out after losing a business pitch, selling her ships, and Liam was like, alright, fine, I'll take it. It was a funny as fuck episode. I really enjoyed it. Next up, MHA Vigilante, I think, remains in great. Bro, most recent episode was Koichi Aura Farming on Ingenium. I like that a lot. This episode was fantastic, bro. I thoroughly enjoyed this shit. I think the pacing of MHA is fantastic. There hasn't been a single episode that's been so, like, slow that completely ruins the momentum of shows. I think that the pacing of MHA is one of the best shows right now. And it's just shows with viewership too. But look at the MHA viewership. How is it doing actually? Hero Vigilante. Let's look at this. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's look at the most recent one. The last two has been a little bit slower, but still entertaining enough. The viewership is on the lower side for sure. But the watch time, very high quality audience, right? That's what I care a lot about. I care about, again, high quality audience. Not just about views. Watch time absolutely matters too. Okay. Next up, we got Two Perfect Saints. Most recent episode. Not gonna lie, guys, it's pretty mid. It's pretty mid. Why is it mid? Because it was all just sweet, wholesome shit. I want more spice. I want drama. It's probably one of the weakest episodes in relative to the other episodes. They're just kind of having Philia recognize what she wants and form her sense of identity. I don't really care though. It's nice and wholesome. I'm just here for Mia Crash Out. Just gonna be completely honest with you. They want Philia back though, so next episode I think it's gonna be nuclear drama all over again. Because they're like, yo, we want a refund on this shit. I'm like, fuck you. There was some nice like interactions with Philia and the prince and the older prince, and some backstory about his past lover and the new apprentice being associated with that, but it was enjoyable mid. Nothing crazy happening. Too slow for me. Next up, Yami Healer. probably doesn't deserve its spot on peak, but I'll put it up there. I'll put it up there. It is the pinnacle, the culmination of Banished from the Party, where these kind of anime, you have the moment where, and honestly, this is kind of the same too, because this is pretty Banished from the Party. I think next episode with them wanting Philia back, it's gonna be the same thing that happened in the most recent episode, right? What's happening? Basically, we got kicked from the party and we're thriving somewhere else, and the people who kicked us out are suffering. They came to get us back, and they think that they're doing us a favor, but we're like, fuck you, we're doing fine. And they just got dunked on by everybody. The voice acting was peak. It is so humiliating to see that guy get dunked on by everybody. It is, again, the culmination of why we watch these kind of shows. The setup is all payoff for the guy to start molding, right? And you gotta really be appreciative of the losers who got dunked on, man. Fantastic episode. I loved it so much. It's, again, in terms of production value and in the storytelling cinematics, I don't think it even comes close to Devil May Cry in the most recent one. But it has a different standard of appeal, right? And I really enjoy these type of episodes in the Banished from the Party. We don't really get much of them, right? It can only be really done once. It's like a gimmick, right? How many times can you have quote-unquote revenge on the people who betrayed us? And I think that's why A-Rank Party was also a gimmick in the beginning, right? Like, after the Simon arc is done, what do you really have left? I think that Yami Healer did a fantastic job with it, and we'll see what happens in the future ones. Next up, Apothecary Diaries? Probably top of grade, if not peak. What happened? I mean, The Secret came out, but we're not so unfamiliar with The Secret, right? We got more of what's going on with Mao Mao. She left a note and basically was able to get Jinshi and the rest to be aware of what's going on. Mao Mao is now in a different place with Suire and Shisei, who we assume is... I'm assuming that she's Lolan, but there's a good chance that she actually isn't Lolan, but it's simply just related in a way where her eye color, hair color, and stuff like that just matches. But the secrets are coming out slowly, right? It was a twist of events that happened recently, and the most recent one was honestly more setup than payoff, but it's nice to see all these different things, coming together, and finally we're getting more of the answers, right? And the questions that's been stacking up. Next up, Summer Pockets? This was an episode of Kamome and main character just finding keys and trying to figure out the memory stuff, right? I probably put it top of good. Yeah, it was a nice chill episode and a lot more mysteries kind of stacking up. Don't really care about the fan service with Kamome in the maid outfit. It was kind of funny, I guess. It's nice that they have a spicy moment here and there to keep the average people just kind of like in tune and engaged, because if you didn't have it, maybe people would stop watching it. But Summer Pockets, it was a good episode. How does Summer Pockets actually do in terms of viewership? Let's see. Summer Pockets. It's all right. Most recent episode. Oof, it's struggling. Struggling. The episode before that, how was that one? With Kamome introduction. It's alright. It's alright. I'm not gonna drop it just now, right? Not gonna drop it just now, but these are some signs that the episodes are starting to slow down, right? I mean, from the beginning, were people really watching this anime for the entire dialogue? Not really, right? People just kind of wanted to see the fan service shit. If you can clearly see by the engagement that no one really gives a fuck about the actual dialogue happening. They just care about, again, fan service scenes randomly happening. If we look at the engagement down here as well, it's definitely on the lower side, right? Definitely on the lower side. It is underperforming at pretty much every level. It truly shows that people are getting tired of Summer Pockets, and if we get multiple episodes back to back like this where it underperforms, I will ruthlessly just cut it off. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about watching shows that you guys don't care about, right? I care about quality viewers, and if this is the level of performance that you can give me, then those are bad signs. Hopefully, this anime will pick things up, because if not, I'll drop it and move on, because you've dropped it too. Next up, Debate. By all means, Shibiduki. absolutely it should be Dookie. But it was so fun. I had a blast watching it. The racist elves and their attitude towards us. Tessia fan service scenes being so cute. The PowerPoint presentation, which is so fucking bad that it's funny now. Again, this tier list is based on how much I'm enjoying it, right? Probably should put it up here. I would kind of feel disgusted to put it up here. What about up here? Ain't no way. Ain't no way, right? It's so bad, bro. Okay. In terms of my, like, how much I enjoyed it, I'd probably put it up here. But I gotta, like, be real with these. It feels disrespectful to put this anime up here, right? It does. I gotta probably put it down here. I gotta put it down here. I enjoyed it a lot. It was very enjoyable mid. I can't put it up here, guys. I can't. But again, very, very enjoyable, and to date, one of the best performing shows in my channel, which is honestly very sad. Let's look at the last 2 episodes viewership. Tessia introduction scene and watch time is so fucking high. Watch time is so fucking high, bro. Again, why is this so high? Very high quality audience of garbage isekai enjoyers that I have curated over the years. These dudes will eat up fucking anything. It doesn't matter what you give them. They will be like, oh, nom, 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 nom. Oh, please, more mid isekai, please. I love this shit. The story is carrying. The story is absolutely carrying. But it truly goes to show, you know, quality of an anime doesn't matter as much as, you know, the quality of the, what kind of audience you have and how much it aligns with their interest, right? Doesn't matter how amazing your anime looks, right? It like literally, if we were comparing Yaiba and To Bait, it is a night and day difference, right? You can't even call this a fucking anime compared to this. But production value is not the only thing that matters. Most of the times, the type of story and, you know, basically how much that aligns with your audience matters a lot more. And it truly goes to show that animes can do better without animating. And I think that the producers are probably watching and laughing, right? Seeing the success of To Bait do well domestically, as well as maybe even globally, compared to some shows where you invest so much, right? Like, imagine the amount of resources pumped, the talent and the resources pumped into shows like this. Or even Moonrise. I heard that Moonrise got really bad near the end. I don't really know. But it is quite telling and quite logical why the corporate suits are trying to do the least amount while trying to get the most amount. Because, like, what is the point of trying to do this shit, right? It's a passion project, sure. But passion doesn't pay the bills. You need to have a healthy balance of great art that also have people care about it, right? So it is what it is. Next up, Konosuba OVAs. Yeah, let's rate that. I think I enjoyed the second Konosuba OVA more than the first. I don't know. I probably put it in good. The Konosuba OVAs, both are probably good. Marginal difference in how much I enjoyed them. The first one was just pure fan service. Second one was fraudulent Konosuba members pulling up and calling us discount members that started to respect us later on with a series of, you know, misunderstandings that stacked up. I probably put it in good. I think that it just goes in good. Want to hear something crazy? Maybe Psyche K is funnier than Konosuba. Konosuba comedy is really hit or miss. There are moments where it is really good and moments where it's really bad. I think that moments that's really bad for me personally, and comedy is very subjective. So again, it's a personal, you know, experience thing. But whenever they're retelling a story and they're trying to do like running gags by like things have already happened and now they're retelling the story, it just doesn't hit, right? Psyche K has a totally different type of comedy delivery that was very jarring at first, but the more I started to watch it, the more I got more into it. I don't think it's really Stockholm Syndrome, but it is cool to see how there are different types of comedy and how some just appeals more to different people. And Konosuba, I think, again, is hit or miss. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just that a lot of people Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just start laughing and be like, ha 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 ha, when things aren't funny, you know? Like, there are moments when it's funny and moments where it's not. And I think it's very disingenuous to sit here and be like, oh my god, Konosuba so peak, Konosuba, because it's Glaze, right? I think a lot of people get peer pressured, right? They get peer pressured into thinking that, oh, it's Konosuba, one of the greatest isekais to be mentioned. We need to Glaze it no matter what. I think that you're getting lost in the sauce. Is Konosuba that great? I think it's good. I think it's great. Is it the funniest show that I've seen though? It has its moments. OVA though, it was good. Next up, Ninkoro. Oh man, this is great. Ninkoro honestly is one of the. Where is it? 2B Hero X go? What the fuck? Where's 2B Hero X? I just realized. Where did it go? Why is it down here? What the fuck? Is there any show I put down here that I haven't watched actually? What the fuck? No. No. Okay, Ninkoro goes to great. Every Ninkoro episode has been so fun to watch for me. Again, the dark humor is so jarring and shocking, but entertaining. This most recent episode, we saw more into Leader's relationship with her girlfriend, and Leader is an absolute garbage partner. She's a playboy that is unemployed, gets an allowance from her partner, spends it gambling, doesn't go job hunting, mooches off of her girlfriend, and then has a past history of, you know, basically leading other girls on. Leader is terrible, but still funny at the same time. Satoko, poor Satoko is so cute, so adorable, is getting abused by everybody, but finally, you know, gets to... Konoha had a little bit of development, I guess. I don't know if you can call that development. Konoha is just such an evil, dark person, man. But still, fantastic episode. How is Ninkoro doing, though, in terms of performance? Let's look at the most recent episodes. Kind of falling off, maybe. So this was 2 episodes ago. Watch time, great. High quality audience. And most recent episode, watch time, great. So remember, even if the viewership is bad, all I care sometimes is, are the people watching? And they are indeed watching this shit. High quality audience off of this dark slice of life. Great, we can keep watching this. Next up, 2B Hero X, immediately to the peak. To the peak. The storytelling again, completely new character coming in, right? And it is Isol, but it's not Isol. The underdog story, the relatability, the pacing, it's all so fucking good, man. I love 2B Hero X so much. I think that it is doing wonders this season. Not in terms of viewership, but also like every week I just look forward to 2B Hero X and Uma Musume a lot, man. This shit, again, I was a bit worried of like, okay, new character coming in. Are people not gonna care about this as much? Am I gonna not care about this much? Maybe I only care about the nice arc. I'm immediately into Yang Cheng's, you know, come up story. This orphan who has a Batman backstory, who is looked down upon by everybody, who grinds his way up, finally, you know, has a love interest that also he thinks he's getting cucked by, goes for auditions and gets rejected for being a peasant. But hey, miracles happen. And because he was able to be there as a hero, the younger brother trusted in him and had just a great moment of heroic storytelling, and he gets the trust value up, he becomes a hero, and then even at the end, like, he gets bailed out, right? Finally, that one lucky break that he needed, he gets it, and he is gonna be selected as the Isol, you know, what's it called, actor, right? I think that the most recent episode was, again, just fantastic, great episode, and nothing more to say about that. And finally, Uma Musume! I loved it. I loved it so much, bro. Probably 2B Hero X was better this week. Uma Musume was more of setup, right? With aura farming from Rudolph. Kote Rudolph. Maruzensky. I love that shit. You know how much I love aura farming and how people go crazy when they see certain characters. And the episode was more about, you know, Kitahara Jones and Ugari. I keep getting her name wrong. Ugari Cap, right? Oguri, Jesus Christ. I keep getting it wrong. Oguri Cap, right? The dilemma they're in with the coach thinking, am I holding her back? And what should I do for her, and did I plant my dreams in her? She's too good for this stage and stuff like that. It was a setup episode for sure, right? But very emotional as well, right? I'm shocked to see how much depth they're going into the coach-athlete relationship, and it's not just, you know, having horse girls raced all the time. They were really setting up Tamamo as well as like a future antagonist to be set up. Oguri, I think, will probably stay at Tokai Derby Regionals. I think that coach should go get his national license, and then after conquering the regionals, they should go to the nationals, and Tamamo will probably be the antagonist at that national level. Maybe she'll be at Tokai Derby. I don't really know. Anyways, it was a fantastic episode regardless. And I think this, yeah, Better No Light also, underrated character. Love her representation and support. And I think this is my final tier list. Now, should we do some recalibrations? If I were to be way more critical of this, I would probably drop Unaware Atelier Meister down here. I would probably drop Debates down here. I would probably drop these shows down here. I would probably drop anything else. No, it's honestly the shows that was in the mid to good. I think the Great and Peak is quite up there. Yami Healer probably shouldn't be up there, but it's again, it's like a one-off, you know, gimmick, banish from the party type of story where it just popped off, so I enjoyed it a lot. I think these were truly all great. Maybe Ninkoro should be down here. Maybe I'm trying to be really harsh right now. I'm trying to be really fucking harsh right now. Maybe this is a bit too mean though, right? I think I would go with the tier list that I had before the recalibration, but sometimes I like to really be like, all right, stop being nice to these shows. How just like really just go with it. Because again, if I feel like great should be exceptional, right? And peak should be very, very rare. And if everything is great and good all the time, then everything is great and good, right? And there's no like standards to uphold by. Again, just because things are mid doesn't mean it's bad. It's still enjoyable. But that's pretty much it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.